love to interact with each and every one of you, and also smash the like button on this video. Hey guys, okay, so this is part 2 on Gilly's favorite blasters, okay? So why don't we quickly get started? Okay, so now let's talk about the SMGs. This one right here, the KRISS Vector V2, is definitely one of my favorites of all time, okay? When it comes to SMG Gelblasters. Now, the reason why is because one, when you first touch a KRISS Vector V2, you definitely feel the quality, okay? It's a full nylon construction. Now, let's talk about the FPS, because that's how we judge our power with our blasters. Now this is averaging roughly about 250, so that's not bad for a little SMG. The other little cool features that I personally like is that I like the black with the orange that contrasts with the black. It just makes it pop, but a lot of people just like to keep it all black, and that's fine. To each their own. Another thing that I like is the fact that it's got a foldable stock, as you can see. All right, which is really cool, so you can change it up to a little short CQB blaster. The other cool thing is that this blaster here is definitely robust when it comes to accessories that comes in the box. You have a different change up here, where as you right now we've got the suppressor, but you can put in a flash muzzle. Another cool thing is that you can detach the buttstock all together and put in a little attachment where it will allow you to hook it up to a sling, which is really cool. Also, that same attachment, you can actually screw in a alloy buffer tube. I think it's the X-Power buffer tube that can fit in there, and then you'll be able to then attach an M4 buttstock just to change up the look, which is what I like about this blaster. Now, the other cool thing is for those lefties out there, the switches are ambidextrous, okay? So the safety can work on both sides, same with the selected fire rate, okay? Speaking of which, this is another reason why I like this blaster. This blaster gives you a single shot, 3 burst fire, and full auto, which is awesome. And it does have a primer as well, okay? So this lever acts like a primer. And for those newbies out there that don't know what a primer is that a primer, when you fill up the magazine with your gels, you pull that lever down for a few seconds and you'll hear a bunch of I guess mechanisms and motors working. So what that does is that brings up the gels ready to get loaded up and shot out straight away, which is really cool. Now, the other cool factor of this blaster is you can get another type of magazine. Now, this magazine here holds roughly about 130 rounds, something along those lines, but you can get a dual drum magazine, which is 2 massive, I guess, drums like so. And yeah, so that equals up to be roughly about a magazine and a half, or close to 2 magazines, which is really good to have, especially if you're going to be playing CQB and you don't want to be loading out. The only con that I have on this blaster is one thing, and that is the magazine release button right there is a little bit further away from the mag when you're trying to pull. So if you've got I guess smaller hands like myself, you got to I guess you got to grow your own technique, so to speak. So I've got my own technique that I can reload quickly and whatnot with this KRISS Vector, but that is it. Apart from that, I can't fault this blaster. And if you don't believe me, come on down to Tactical Edge and try it out for yourself. I guarantee you'll actually be quite surprised what this little thing can do. So yeah, so that's my favorite SMG. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the mid-range, guys. Now the mid-range, when I refer to the mid-range, is a blaster that has a barrel that's pretty much a standard barrel. It's not short barrel, it's a standard barrel of roughly about 35 centimeters or 7-inch handguard, okay? So I've got 2, so I'm gonna 2 spectrums, one of the cheaper kind and one of the premium blasters, okay? Now, the first one, and majority of us know this, is the M4A1 Gen 8 by Jin Ming. Now, this blaster here, in all honesty, is, I believe, what started all our premium blasters and everything else that followed after this blaster. If you're not aware of the blaster history, there were so many blasters that were first released that were trying to, I guess, have what this blaster has, okay? And that is the power and the versatility of customization, okay? When this blaster came out, it was roughly doing 230 FPS. this became such a hit that Jinming decided to bring out a version 2 now, which looked exactly the same. The first version was completely all ABS plastic, where the version 2 that we sell now currently is pretty much a nylon receiver with a nylon gearbox housing, which is a little bit more sturdier than the version 1, which was just a clear plastic type gearbox housing, which would crack constantly, especially for those who would modify it with 11 volts and whatnot. Now they've also ramped up the internals, so now it's averaging just like its I guess its newer counterpart, which is the Gen 9, at 245 FPS, which is absolutely great. This blaster is so highly versatile that there's so many components out in the market to customize this. You can have different types of handguards as well. It's always going to be a clamshell with Picatinis, but you can just customize the length of it, the color. There's outer barrels, which is right here. You can change the outer barrel to alloy, the inner barrel as well. You can change to a Type R barrel or just a normal standard alloy barrel. I know that for the people out there who are new, you're probably wondering, what are all these components? An alloy barrel it's probably best to have, because the plastic barrels, I don't know if you can see, there's a clear plastic inner barrel right there. In the heat, these plastic barrels tend to warp, which will make your shot inaccurate, okay, because of the warpness. If you change it to an alloy barrel, that's never going to happen. And a Type R barrel is actually a smaller inner diameter barrel that the air is nicely compressed, and you actually get performance out of that barrel, so keep that in mind. But yeah, this blaster here is full auto. There's no single shot, but there is a safety. So in order to get a single shot, or say a burst fire, you'll have to manipulate the trigger, okay? So I can do single shot, or okay, so you can manipulate the trigger. But yeah, this blaster right here at $149 is definitely a steal because of its versatility. This blaster is definitely one of my favorite blasters, if not probably the favorite. But yeah, come check it out and see it for yourself, because this blaster is great for everyone that wants to get into the sport as well. It's not breaking bank, and it gives you lots of options as well. But now let me show you the other one, okay? Which is this right here. This is the Ghost, okay? Now, the Ghost Platinum Blaster is a full metal construction blaster. The gearbox is a Silver Edge V2 gearbox, so it is a metal gearbox. What does that mean? That means it does have all metal components inside. The spring as well is a M100 spring. For those of you who are new, what does that mean? That means that the spring is an equivalent to a 1.3 spring, and it gives you awesome performance. You've got an M-LOK style front metal guard, okay, which is absolutely nice and sleek, which I absolutely love. But that baby blue accent just pops out as well, which I absolutely love. The reason why is because you don't see that too often, like a soft color, a contrast to the black. Now, the other cool thing is the spring-loaded buttstock, just like the MK6 or the Phantom Extremis 6, which is absolutely great, and it still has that easy access to the battery as well. This blaster is averaging roughly about 290 FPS, which is absolutely great on a 7.4 volt battery. There's no words to pretty much explain how exquisite it looks, okay? It really does. It's just got this nice elegance of it, but it does look badass as well, which I really, really like. And I love the little fine touches that they have with the little Ghost symbol there, as you can see on the dust flap. And if I turn it around, it's got like a little etching as well, the Ghost symbol there. I don't know, man. I just like this blaster. It looks great, it feels great, and it shoots like a beast. So if you don't believe me, come down and check this out for yourself. Okay, finally, we come to the DMR type style blasters. To me, that means like a longer barrel type blaster. And I cannot fault this right here. This is the Demolition Ranch Gelblaster, okay? Now, as you can see, it has an awesome like a multi-cam coating. This honestly looks better in person. It's got a nice sleek design barrel with an M-LOK style grouping, so you can get, it does come with, I believe, 2 Picatinny M-locks already, but you can get a third. You can purchase a third for a grip if you're like me who has shorter arms, and you'll be able to hold it like so. But the cool thing as well about this blaster, as you can see, it is skeletonized, okay, which adds a little bit off the weight. It is really nice and light. So for me, I like a lighter weighted blaster, and if I'm going to be playing out on the field, this is definitely the one I'm going to use. One, because it feels nice and sturdy. I know the performance is there, but it's not so heavy when I'm running around on the field. Now, the gearbox on this is a Silver Edge Gearbox V2. So the performance on this is that you are getting averaging about 290 FPS on a 7.4 volt battery. It does have single shot and full auto function as well. You just can't fault this blaster. Demolition Ranch has made an awesome blaster in terms of this. And the cool thing about this buttstock, guys, it's an RS2 buttstock, and it feels really nice when you're holding up against your shoulder and you're about to shoot, okay? Now, it does have 6 stages of length, which is really good, especially for those who have a longer arm span. You'll feel nice and comfortable with this blaster. Now, apart from the fact it's got 6 stages, the other cool thing is that they made it easier for you to access the actual battery. This button right here is actually on the other side. All you gotta do is pull down and it slips out, and boom, you're straight into the battery as well. Which is awesome, because there's nothing worse than trying to fidget too much, trying to get out a battery out while you're playing. And as you can see, it has a decent QD mount right there, okay, for your sling. It's nice and sturdy, it's alloy, and yeah, you'll be able to hang that off. Now, I don't know what other areas you could hang off a QD, unless you get a QD mount, put on top of the rail, and then add that little QD there, and you'll be able to hang it off on your sling like so. But having it there is still an awesome option. But yeah, guys, let's go through some of the other features as well on this blaster, like the charging handle. Same thing, it's got a nice little charging handle with cool F1 firearm logo on there. Of course, the plate as well is F1, which is a nice little touch to the F1 firearms. I believe this may have a battery. Yep. Now, the cool thing is you can change this into like a little blowback plate as well. That is a additional option, but you have to, that's an extra option that you'll have to purchase, okay? It doesn't come with that feature, obviously. As you can see, there's no blowback, but you can get it to blow back. Apart from that, it's got an stainless steel inner barrel as well. And yeah, guys, it is just absolutely awesome. As you can see, you know, it is hollow, it is nice. It's just an absolutely beast of a blaster. There's no words to explain it. I mean, if you're a fan of Demolition Ranch, if you're a fan of Matt, then you'll definitely love this blaster. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just a YouTube channel, okay? That is a gentleman, an American gentleman that does reviews on real firearms and that, and it's based off his model. So yeah, so that's the DMR, guys. Like, it's got loads of possibilities of accessories and whatnot. Come see it for yourself, come test it out, definitely on the range, and you will see for yourself that it is absolutely a blaster that has that performance. You won't be disappointed as well. That's why I make it my favorite as well. Now, I'm gonna give an honorable mention as well, okay? And that is the minigun right here, as you can see in the background. Now, this minigun, if you've seen the videos, you know that this ain't no joke. This minigun is absolutely awesome, and it runs off HPA, a high pressure air, and you can get tanks, as you can see behind me right here. They're available at Tactical Edge with the regulators. Now, these are now, I should say, you're now able to become a juggernaut on the field. The max the max PSI that you can use before you blow the seals out is 110 PSI. That will give you 400 FPS, and it shoots each individual barrel as well. So I got to give a shout out to that micro gun. It is amazing. Okay, so that's my my honorable mention, definitely. Okay, so thank you for staying until the end of the video. Okay, as I said in the beginning, if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe, guys. Follow us on all our social media platforms because there's so many awesome exclusive content out there. I do giveaways, and yeah, you get to see a whole bunch of cool stuff of what we're up to here at Tactical Edge. So you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok as well. So definitely come and yeah, follow the brand that tries to give you nothing but the best. As well, if you like this video, smash a like button and also leave a comment. Let me know what's your favorite blaster and why. I definitely am interested to find that out. Anyway, enough said. Until then, as I always say, guys, stay fresh, and yeah, we'll see you very soon on the battlefield. Peace, adios, au revoir, sayonara, bye guys.